And joining me live for some analysis, I would like to welcome Kevin Sullivan, Vice President, the Americas Society Council of Americas, and a former U.S. ambassador to Nicaragua from 2018 to 2023. He has worked across the region and can offer some insights here. Thank you very much for being with us. To start off, I would like to ask you about President Trump. He has been threatening to cut aid to Honduras if his preferred candidate, the right-wing presidential candidate, does not win in these elections. How will that be going down with voters in Honduras, do you think?
Well, we'll have to see what voters say in the polls, but I think President Trump had some very strong views on this election, and he made them known. It's not the first time he's done that. He did that, of course, in Argentina on behalf of President Milei's coalition. And in the end, in that case, it does not seem to have done any harm at all. In fact, it seemed to help Milei. So it's hard to predict how that sort of statement might affect voters under current conditions in Honduras.
In general, is there a perception of legitimacy of elections in Honduras? Do you expect that we'll have a clear result coming out in the hours ahead that is widely accepted?
You know, I certainly hope so. I think we should all hope so. There have been some incidents in the past where we've had disputed elections in Honduras and some social unrest around that, and that's an outcome that I think all actors should work very hard to avoid. This is a close election, according to the most recent polls, and there have been some indications that you might have more than one declaration of victory. So that's really not a good outcome for Honduras. Fortunately, we've got a robust observation mission on the ground fielded by the Organization of American States. They have tremendous experience and excellent resources to try and provide more confidence to Hondurans about the electoral result.
And we just heard there from our correspondent about the three leading candidates. We've got Moncada, Nasrallah, also Asfura, who is Trump's choice here. What would you expect their foreign policies to look like, especially as they relate to the United States, if they are victorious?
Well, I think your correspondent just talked about the distinction of change represented by two of the candidates, Nasrallah and Asfura, and more continuity when we're talking about Moncada. I think certainly the relationship with the U.S. is key for Honduras. I would say that, notwithstanding his endorsement of Asfura, President Trump has demonstrated his ability to be pragmatic and focus on U.S. interests, regardless of the left-right identity of a particular leader. We've seen that, for example, in Mexico with President Sheinbaum, and in Brazil with President Lula, who come from a very different place on the spectrum than he does, but they've over time found a way to work things out. So hopefully that will be the case regardless of which way this election goes. But certainly the China factor is important as well. And Honduras did switch from recognizing Taiwan to recognizing China just a couple of years ago. And that's been controversial. And that's another area where you may find that change continuity dichotomy being quite important.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening to share those insights. We've been speaking with Kevin Sullivan. Very much appreciate your time.
Thank you.